And Zhao, who holding his flash, gets out to safety. Now Tian locked in the ring. Scout with no flash here, gets knocked up by Tian. And the red buff being applied. One more audacious charge. A stun over the wall from Jun actually keeps his mid laner alive and sacrifices himself. Still looking to make something happen here as he passes up into that top side ward from Arla. Gives vision over. Q goes wide. That empowered Pantheon spell now completely wasted him. A flash out from Breathe. Arla flashes to follow. Comes on through. Arla about 1 HP. May just be able to kite it on out here. Breathe doing the best he can with potions and grasp and may still do it, but Arla dashes back in. Slices one, dices two, and the kill's picked up. The top side here, Missing goes in, double pulverized, stolen away is the dragon, and Jun picks that up, no doubt. Missing goes down, and Weibo are running this fight to begin with. Finally, Scout comes in, looking to dish damage out. Tian falls light, low on the backside. A stun comes through to stop that piercing arrow. Pei still wailing away here. It's the bot lane for Weibo that are going to go down. Erha just barely able to dish out one final concussive blow before he falls, and it's JDG who get the dragon, get the fights, and find themselves the advantage.
Sometimes
a little bit, maybe just a bit delayed by Scout here as they couldn't really take the fight, but now they're looking to dive down on the bot side. 4 versus 2. Chain of Corruption linking up with a headbutt pulverized from Missing. And everybody from JDG lives. No harm, no foul. Plates as well. Scout gets on the board.
And we were saying, you know, they wanted the fight. That's all they wanted, right? And
Yeah.
maybe...
Weibo starting their own little assault into the jungle here.
I mean, importantly...
Does get rooted up, does get knocked up, does get stunned, and does go down. Finally, Weibo with a little bit of a bounce back. And a little extra mystic shot takes him that little bit lower. Arla's still bot side as well with teleport, so going to look for a pretty big flank here. Weibo do secure the Rift Herald, but again, the question remains, can they get out to safety? Here comes the Grand Starfall as Zhao, who gets knocked up, locked up, taken down. Light running for the high hills as Arla turns back for the Yorick, who finally forces the flash, but this time round, not going to be able to get out so easily. Scout takes down Light, Breathe the next one to fall underneath this tier 1 turret, and JDG are running amok in Weibo's jungle. Oh, consistently so succinctly as a 5v5 as well. That's when they really thrive.
And this Grand Starfall and the flank.
JDG did lose Scout, overextended a little bit, and Weibo managed to find a little bit of a response. Another kill picked up for them. A bit of the vision established in the river. 25 minutes has been hit, and now they're looking to collapse a little bit more aggressively. Erha doesn't get taken for the ride. Light's now chucked into the middle of everybody. Pei's flashed on, but he gets out to safety as well. Zhao, who locked up, charmed up, but still alive as Light still chunking damage, throwing it down, and Weibo actually coming out on top. They make the play, they get aggressive, and they come out on top. An Unbreakable from Erha saves him from the damage from Scout, and a quick 2-for-0 on the top side. Weibo Gaming come alive.
Right. So, interesting trade coming out for sure.
Chen lands the wind, becomes lightning, doesn't want to take the aggressive push on it as Arla's getting a little bit of a fight onto Breathe here. Help from Jun as they take down the Yorick without any problems. Scout in the mid lane, forced to use Spirit Rush to get out to safety, and Missing is going to be traded by JDG. So a 1-for-1 support for top laner here. A winning trade so far for JDG.
Still with no flash, so very few flashes in fact, but again, does have
Light walking on a pink ward, but they pick up Arla first. He flashes out with the Dominus active, and Erha gets charmed and taken out. Unbreakable does not give him anything. Now Zhao, no flash, shot him head up, butted into a wall. Wow. Pei's knocked back, but that's not going to do enough. Unbreakable will keep him alive, and Zhao, golden, but he still goes down. Breathe not a part of this. Arla able to TP back in. 2-for-0. JDG will take the soul.
Terrain there, easy for JDG to pick off one target and then keep pushing from there and split the rest of the fight. So really good understanding of both the terrain and how their team wants to play. So
okay, we're getting flamed for no reason as Tian is also going to get flamed by his jungle, heading into the red buff, taken down by JDG. And now with the Hextech Soul, Scout goes in attempting to predict Charm out as Light, locked up, 2-for-0, 3-for-0, make it more, and JDG with that Soul are just not stopping.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the average age of
So was I was stuck there as well.
Anyway, JDG actually have an opportunity where they can end here. It's like 34 minutes, or 34 seconds before Ezreal's back.
Eyes on Xiaohu here. He's got to try and clear those waves. He gets immediately headbutt pulled and taken to the grave. Breathe will do what he can, but there is nothing this Undertaker can do to take down JDG. And game number 1 is picked up by your 3rd seed. A little bit of KDA padding, some stat farming to be done in the base as well. Tian not going to go down, but game 1 picked up. Topside, we're seeing some good brawling going down. Arla looking for Breathe, grass procs being traded, and now Tian once again did this in game 1, didn't die mid lane this time round. He's looking for Arla to burn the flash before using that pillar, chomping him down. Finally, the flash comes through. They're going for the dive here, and one more smack, and Tian finds first blood.
I was worried because, I mean, like, Breathe knows he can only take 1 tower shot, but now the cross map on the bottom side of the map.
Polymorph gets cleansed, but Light still not anywhere to go. Gets down under the turret. Missing flashes over the wall so that Air doesn't whack him one to go down. To not really lose anything. People heading up toward this top side, but Missing and Pays are nearby. Whether they engage on this or not remains to be seen, and they're actually looking for Missing. Flash from Erha knocks up the Lulu, and she gets taken down instantly. Erha maybe gets traded. Scout on an angle here, double stun, double Tivers. Finds one in response. Pays is still going crazy, not yet level 6, but doesn't need it, as Tian also clubbing away at this Scion. Soul Furnace keeps him alive for a little bit longer and actually baits in Light. He may fall as well now as Scout throws out his last spell, last bit of mana, and Pays trading. Got a need to go over the wall. No level 6. Pays finds 3 in the top side.
Finds his way onto Light, easy as you like. And
looks like it's not stopping.
He's going to find Xiaohu apparently.
It is going in this game as Erha and Light maybe looking to once again engage onto Missing, but Scout's there, Pays is ready, and Jun's here as well. Weibo, the bot lane, have overextended, they flexed their hand, and they will fall. Missing is forced to flash, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally... That might not be okay, though. Oh my god.
Pays getting...
getting something.
JDG are going to start off this dragon.
They want to contest, and I don't mind this because Breathe's here. They're not going to get the dragon. They might find the fight afterwards.
So Pays has Hop ready to go over the wall, all out immediately onto Jun, who just gets enough HP to actually flash out over the wall. And for Weibo, that's a disaster. Now Arla knocks up Tian, who gets double stunned. Scouts Tivers finds 2 as well. Arla's running amok on the backline, and they cannot take him down. Breathe has nowhere near the same consequence, and Pays flashing forward once again on the Zeri, already on a double kill. Ultra Shock Laser not quite finding Light as he sidesteps that one, but JDG come out with 2 kills, the dragon, and nobody dies. For Arla, a pretty big win as a TP up to this top side here. We saw this from Weibo in game number 1, where they're just trying to either take a turret, force down a Scion with no ulti, no flash as well. Knockup does land, and Arla's in a little bit of trouble here. Empowered Rock thrown to the face. It's not even going to land as Breathe takes the kill beforehand. Surprised by the Talia spawning in top lane. How did this happen? Herald does go down here. And for Tian, that's a tool used. Xiaohu, in fact, is going to ride this in, and we're TPing into the mid lane here. Something's going to happen. Scout gets stunned initially. Arla whiffs on the Unstoppable Onslaught, and remember, no flash for this Scion just yet. Lulu to buy some space, some time, but the Scion goes down. Flash for flash between Breathe and Pays, and now the Zeri can go a little bit nuclear. Erha, charm, knock up, CC chained as Xiaohu leaks it up, and Pays is down, and now Weibo, they have control over mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, Pays is just looking to squeeze a little bit too hard there for the extra damage. Missing used his Ulma and his heal. Hold on a second, it's an extra dive.
They're going for even more here. Missing dodges out on the seismic shove, but Shun's going to go down. Scout flashes into 3. Finds a stun on the wall, but nobody falls. And now he's just resigned himself to death. Erha lives as well, and Weibo have found a fight.
And while Scout's engage on the back end was obviously nice, JDG had already been routed by that point, and Weibo are going to stop this snowball of the potential early Cloud Soul.
Again, with Tian having a really solid early game, finding the gank mid lane to force Scout's flash, finding the kill top side to give Breathe that early opener into the laning phase, and, you know, by extension giving him the tools to be able to take down Pays in the top side jungle, and then flashing in, taking him down here as well. But JDG not thwarted by their 3,000 gold deficit here. They're the ones starting up the Dragon, knowing that FaZe is the carry. Double TPs have come through from both sides as Xiaohu's wall cuts off Xun, cuts off FaZe. Should both be able to get over the wall here. Early knock up onto Breeze. He's able to get out to safety. Looking like a comical flip here as FaZe forced to dash away. Smite secured by Tian. And Weibo now looking forward here. They've stolen the Atakan away, and that's going to be enough for them.
Pretty bad play. You lose Xun there in a situation like that. Maybe you end up losing tier 2 on the top side. Oh my goodness.
Arla flashed to 1 point. The unstoppable onslaught. Xiaohu did have to flash away, but he's on the wrong side of the wall. He will go down. And it's another shutdown. It's this time in FaZe's pocket.
To be honest with you, this Dragon is going to go completely uncontested by, by JDG. They don't want any business to do with that.
And this now does change.
Tier 1 on the top side.
With the Atakan going down, how the fights are looking to play out, that's a pretty big boost of experience for a lot of Weibo. It helps them as a consequence for their actions. They spent time looking towards the Baron, they didn't find it, and Weibo come out on top.
Yeah, good reactions there from Weibo to just strip away what they...
And JDG immediately turn tail up toward the Baron once again, sacrificing control over that mid wave, so they have to start this up early. Missing though, caught by the pillar. Not going to burn the flash, walks the long way round, and again it's Xun this time forced to flash out. Re-engaged onto Tian, and JDG are going forward. It looks good for them, and that's because it is. Jungle is so far traded, but FaZe is unleashing his damage onto Weibo. Tries to flash forward, go a little bit aggressively here.
Damage is going to have to come through, you know, other means of setup so that the blade coolers are connecting. And again, just the contextual amount of space that Azira feels like needs to deal damage without being turned on or one-shot in this kind of composition. As Xiaohu is now the target of an engage.
But he's pulled in Xun deep, and he's going to get taken down very quickly over the wall and far too aggressive. JDG lose their jungler with Baron and Dragon alive. Now JDG, they've got to fight their way out of this. FaZe hops over the wall. He's the carry. He's the threat that Weibo need to focus. And so, playing up on this top side, want to be able to pivot out if possible, but Xiaohu has based. He's come back in on a flank angle with a double knock-up, but JDG looking to take this fight themselves. Breathe already very low in the front line, stands tall as the Baron falls. And Weibo get in, they get out. Way. Are they unscathed here as Light's been left to leave his own devices? He goes down, a 1k kill for FaZe, but 4 members take the Baron. This is soul point here for Weibo that they take. And they are going to still have you know, an insane amount of movement speed regardless, but if they find one more soul, that's, again, an even bigger boon and early.
Nice and early indeed. Can
Scouts on this flank angle.
That's the big question. So
it's secured. The soul not picked up by Weibo. Scout waiting for Weibo to ingress into their jungle, and maybe they know that somebody's there. An initial stun stops him from throwing up the pillar, and Tian gets the subjugate down, but is it too late? Absolutely not! FaZe knocked up, Scout flashes forward! Thunderstorm by Light keeps himself safe and pays into the GA now. Ulti goes down, and Weibo breathe, taking Scout over the wall, and Pays still alive. Arla falls. A 2 for 1 so far as Scout actually looking, and he gets more! Dashing forward, takes down 2, takes down 3. It's overall just JDG coming on top and taking the Dragon.
The cleanse, and Pays is able to get so much damage out. He even dies. Oh.
They're looking, Pays. They found 1, they found 2. The Zeri is dead.
They're picking mid. They're not even picking the Baron. They want to end the game now that Pays is dead. We're 38 minutes into this.
And they might just be able to do it here, Tamada. Their AD carry is down. The carry of this team, the Pays train that we set up early, has fallen. Scout and Arla, the only 2 carries left alive. Weibo don't seem to care.
Scout is on a mission.
He's on a flank of all flanks here, trying to get access, but he's being marked by Breathe. Arla's job here to try and clear the wave. Scout as well. Burns his cooldowns onto Breathe, and JDG, they're just buying time. 20 seconds left still for Pays. Scout falls as well, but that wave, it's still alive. 1 minion, 1 Nexus turret is all they need. And Weibo Gaming, against the 8 kill Zeri, 12 minutes into this game, come back and take game 2. Jun will be annoyed at him for taking some of the gold, and he's actually pivoting up toward this top side.
Oh, wow.
Missing uses Air as a taxi. Scout flashes in, and Light has been left to the wolves. He tries to trade back, but he is going to fall. It's a 2 for nothing, and the grubs. Normally, you know, a good chunk of somebody's health bar that will go down. That said, though, Scout not doing too badly in the poke wars himself, as it's JDG starting up the Dragon, looking to trade this 1-for-1, and Tien on the top side. A good front line in that Poppy. Won't call it an amazing one, but certainly something that can stand in the front. And with the MF as well, not a champion that notoriously does a lot of damage as you move later on into the game. Happy for JDG to try and take this a little bit slower, and with that, Tien is the one that flashes forward. Impale's missing and decides we actually want some action here. Aftershock keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but not long enough, and it's going to be Breathe that picks up the first kill for Weibo.
We're bordering on LCK territory. Xiaohu, oh my god.
In about 5 seconds time, both team has 1 Drake apiece. Scout goes back, recalls, doesn't actually pick up anything from his items as he moves into the mid lane, and Missing looks for an engage. Doesn't really seem to have found anything too great, as it's actually Light finding the first kill, and Tien just falls on the back half of this. Pays, dashes out of one distortion, gets caught by the other, and Xiaohu takes JDG on a merry dance as Scout flashes forward, throws soldiers into Narnia, and gives his life for the cause. Breathe goes forward and buys the rest of the space, and now Pays has to run for the high hills. Breathe with flash up, ready, goes on top of the JDG AD carry, and he's going to get out to safety for now. But a big win for Weibo in mid lane.
He did a fantastic job of pressuring Pays in that fight too, to really shut his ability down to open up with those 2 items. So all in all, Weibo just do a fantastic job of navigating that exchange.
And it does feel really good. And 2 or around him, and the one time that it does, he's just kind of sat there, last hits, get a couple of kills. But Scout flashed in on him there, and Light had flash ready. And the Horizon focus, and obviously the CC little portion as well is pretty good, as JDG are actually starting up this Atacon without really any response from Weibo so far, as they took a bit of a bad recall timer, and JDG have made the most of it.
It's not the first time we've seen that this series. Team makes a bad macro call by the end of it, as just putting the positional advantage gained to immediate use, securing this tier 1 in the mid lane.
So not nothing for Weibo, but definitely feels like they came out on the worst end of that trade.
And I mean, it would be half a joke to say it, but like, you know, can manage side lane waves and scenarios well. The objectives are often just so much more important to handle, as Xiaohu is just going to deal a bunch of damage to Arla.
That was just QR.
Be done before we are.
Yeah. And maybe JDG are looking to make that happen a little bit sooner, as the engage comes through from Missing, but once again it's a solar flare onto Ascana, who has still got 4,000 HP to go, but that looks a little more convincing. Zhao, who flashes and dashes into the backline to find nothing. Air has low, won't go down. Missing once again, goes forward and finally falls. The first kill goes to Weibo, but JDG are cleaning up. Breathe the next to fall. Zhao, who's got to distort out to safety, and Light's flash might just be 1 second just too late. And JDG find the fight, find the kills, and now they can turn tail, head toward the Baron.
Yeah, head towards the Baron for sure. Xiaohu chunks out Shun. Is he going to find a bit more than that?
Steadfast presence.
He's got him.
Just solo kill him. Who's the assassin here, Jamada? Jun or Xiaohu?
I mean, it's the Poppy with the Sundered Sky, of course. Like, come on now. It's just, it is what it is. Like,
nah, you know, I forgot. 2-item Poppy versus 3-item LeBlanc. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, look, you know how League of Legends game design is.
And hold on a second. Jun's just caught Xiaohu and taken him once again. I mean, about half HP from that LeBlanc is, again, very threatening. Her dashing forward now makes it much more difficult, and you know, if Paige just gets a couple quick autos, maybe that's going to be enough, as Weibo lurking here on this bot side, still attempting to defend this tier 2, but Paige already took the tier 2 in the mid lane. He pivots down to the bot side, and they find that without any real pressure either. And a slam into the wall onto Tien, who does just get melted. The culling to finish off the job, and Arla's auto will finish the deal, as Jun also very low. Bullet time, Magnet Storm combo looks good, but Scout eviscerates Light in the backline. And Breathe now is the next target. Xiaohu's dashing away, Breathe is out, and 1 HP left for Xiaohu as they take the bot side and seem to be taking this game by storm.
Yeah, And you can see why Rylai's is such a frustrating item on Azir to deal with. I know there's a lot of discussion amongst not just the Azir players, that was just the Leandries, right? Like flat out. And, the damage is still pretty comparable auto to auto. But if you get 4 more autos in because of the Rylai's, then yeah, it's, you know, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Goodbye for the time being, Xiaohu. But that
was solar flare as well.
Yeah, it was solar flare, but we won't talk about it. Oh, hello, actually, Shun might be in a bit of trouble. Impale.
Flash from Tien here, gets out of that dangerous position, but it's already 1. That's going to be 2, and despite the bullet time reigning over Missing, Pays has dashed in. He's taken down 1, and the rest of the team will follow up to keep him alive. 5-0, JDG take game 3.
Not quite 5-0. Xiaohu squeaked out somehow.
Oh, well, he should have died.
Big surprise. But he should have died, I agree. And even with him being on the map, I don't think he's going to be able to do too much here. Steadfast presence, goodbye.
And it's JDG that bounced back their blue side game right back on top, and with a
there were some people who were kind of questioning the, like, weirdly, the viability of Renekton. And it's like, bro, sure, like Renekton mid, but it's like, sure, but also Galio could just be made not to play the game here. As Barrier comes through, just to stop some of the trade damage.
Yeah, I mean, the rebuttal doesn't do anything here, and Missing is just dead. Has dinged level 3 and decided that he wants to take down Missing. No exhaust used. Pivoting into this bot lane, and this might actually leave Light in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Because it's not just Arla.
Flash.
I don't know that that's going to be enough here, Jamada. He is under the turret. He is exhausted now. A TP's coming through, but he is just dead. Kill goes over to Arla, and Light, unfortunately, kind of left to be fending for himself.
We've got to get... Yo, breathe.
He's stopping recalls. He's stopping recalls, and you know what? He's done a successful job on one aspect, as Jun is able to have to walk the long way back, and now Xiaohu ready with Flash, looking to try and taunt his way in. Gets Arla, gets Jun as well, and it's another kill for the set support. 2-0 on the set, and now with Equalizer up, it's clearing the wave, baby. How easy it is to... Jun's taking this blue buff on the top side. It's once again just going to be a little bit of a trade, and I mean little bit. It is blue buff for a dragon, so much more worthwhile if you are Weibo in this situation. As Jun finds Breathe and is immediately flashing on top of him, scouts in tandem, and the hook pulls him right back in. Explosive charge takes down the Rumble.
Yeah, objectives in this sequence, and this will give them that feat as well once they secure this one up, and they'll be 1 kill away from securing feats of strength overall.
Arla will respond with first turret down on that bot side, so it will come down to whoever gets the next kill.
Screwed up the ratio on Galio, so going full AP, like every tick was more or less doing like the damage it would do when it would hit you. He's just not able to move. Scout finally gets the rocket jump away, but there's a killer instinct into the backline, and Light not actually able to find it, as now called the Forge God gets interrupted. Arla airballs on that one, and now he's just about able to walk out to safety as Tien comes forward, takes down Missing, and now Arla left under the turret in a 5 versus 1 situation. His odds aren't looking too good for this one. Yep, he's dead. Tower goes down as well, and feats were secured for Weibo. Oh man, I mean that was a huge set of kills. Thankfully for JDG, Pays was able to answer out on that tier 1, but Weibo can go further, right? Because of the amount of kills they got, and where Shun was positioned on the map when this play was going down. They even pick up the tier 2, but this overreach potentially is now leading to teleports, and Scout is here on the flank. Play back here, Tien.
They're still hunting.
I think he's in that much danger.
Well, he is probably just fine. It's Erha maybe who's going to be left and sacrificed. However, his team are here. Tien was sniffing around the entire time, comes back in to try and help out. Cyclone onto Jun as he just takes down the Neferi without any real recompense. Now another killer instinct into the backline as Light finds Pays, flashes over the wall, double kill for the Kaiser.
Rude. I think that whole sequence might have just broken JDG.
Yep.
They lose out on that play so hard on the top side. That just felt like a tilt play. through and through, just looking for something, just hungry for a play. Dragons up, you know, like go get set up over there. Make the life of Weibo difficult to play around that instead. Via the vision, they just weren't able to do it, and now they're losing out more than ever.
Still not done. They've taken down the tier 2 turret with the Rift Herald, and maybe one more auto attack away from safety, as now Scout's trying to break Tien free from that Rift Herald. He jumps forward, and I honestly wouldn't have been too surprised if they actually tried to re-engage, because you've got no jump, you've got no reason being there, and now Light is going to tear you to shreds as well. Facebreaker pulls down one. Jun still dashing forward. Gets knocked up by the Justice Punch. Gets taken down. A Golden Eclipse is going to find one, but it's a double kill, triple kill already for Light, as Weibo are still sieging forward. Pei's finally able to take down the Kaiser, and Xiaohu might be able to get a response. But this is just JDG throwing themselves at Weibo and getting nothing for it. Xiaohu finds the kill onto Pei's, flashes out as well. Absolute disaster for Jindong Gaming.
And then eventually Xiaohu getting his rundown.
Does get caught by a snare, and stops the Penta in its tracks. Maybe would have been able to space out Arla, but there is a dragon. I won't call it a fight going down, because Weibo did just take it relatively uncontested, and they're only up 3,000 gold, which in the grand scheme of things feels like they could have been up way more, or should have been up way more, as Weibo now on the Atacon as well. There's Erha with the engage, there's the follow-up, and there's the dive that we've been looking for. Weibo saving no prisoners down on the bot side, but a Call the Forge God might give Scout a bit of a free time to try and wreak havoc. But everybody's alive. They're using their HP as a resource, and JDG have no tools to cut through all of it. And Breathe flashes over, insult to injury, and Tien, Nimbus strikes the ace, and Weibo find 5.
Yeah, you know what? Fair play. At least Weibo are trying to make this game for a fast one, or rather, maybe I should be thanking JDG for the decisions going on right now. Hakon secured, more towers, Baron's up in 3 minutes. It's not even here yet.
To it. JDG, they obviously don't want to give this up, but it's already pretty much dead. Arla tries to call the Forge God, gets it, and sacrifices his life. He did just throw himself into the back line and made sure that Jun couldn't get in. But they did get the Baron.
Though, it was making me believe that JDG was seeing red because they got one kill and they needed to, like, go, you know? Like, or he's laning, and this is, like, old seasons. Xiaohu's probably going to, like, do some cool stuff and get out. Fantastic. Good job.
Exactly.
LPL go. Hold on.
And now Tien wants to go forward. Light wants to go forward as well, and he's pretty isolated to begin with. But the damage just isn't there. Scout jumps out to the waiting arms of a Flame Spitter, and it's once again an absolute slaughter. 3 for nothing. Make it 4 as Pei's goes down as well. He will rebuttal absolutely nothing. And Arla farms a wave in the mid lane.
Kind of been waiting for the inevitable to play out. And JDG have frankly sprinted themselves into their coffin here for game number 4.
Although
been sullen about it all.
And there's maybe a little bit of stat farming here from Weibo, because I don't want to call it mercy. And with this massive gold lead, I don't know that they're going to need the Baron necessarily to close out this game. It might be a little bit of a boost for them. They've only got 20 seconds left on it, and you can see
very unprofessional. I have a sneeze that's like trying to
perfect.
Go.
No, that's
and we're not in person, so I can't even signal you like, yo, keep talking.
He's just dying off screen. I have no idea.
I'm dying on screen. I've been inflicted with the hay fever debuff this year. But actually in my own country, which is
over his counterpart. But I mean, you're comparing that to a almost full build Kaiser, and Missing, who's just, oh dear, had an absolute disaster, flashed out and then hooked his way right back into death. Baron spawned up, and that is probably just handed over now to Weibo, and Erha sat on a pink ward, but probably gets spotted out by the lane ward that JDG have got down. He's looking to try and make more of this than just the Baron. Flash is on top of Pei's, who does manage to escape over one wall, only to be met by Winds of War, Equalizer, and everything else that Weibo can throw at him. JDG are crumbling in the mid lane, and Weibo are going to send us all the way to game number 5. They do not need the Baron. They do not need to take that fight. They do it for the fun of the game, Jamada, to destroy JDG in their face.
Bit of a mental breakup for the love of the game, is how we say it. And first Nexus Tower's about to fall. They're going for the full-on dive. There goes Arla, missing next on the menu. And Shun, I mean, he could try and survive.
The minion.
Yeah.
He did what he could. He cleared the wave, but the Nexus turrets are gonna fall. Weibo Gaming bounce back again in game number 4. Queue up Silver. JDG to find just a little bit of an advantage in denying Tien his red buff, who might actually have stepped a little too far forward. Knocked up by the Jarvan flag and drag. Handshake back on in, and Pace finds first blood.
Yeah, I mean, perfect CC chain there.
And even with that recall timing coming through, it's still JDG with this bot prio, with Pace having that first blood that can find that initial dragon and to put themselves 1-0 up on those neutrals.
Yeah, indeed.
Ulti's expended, but no kills coming through, and Weibo Gaming will be able to leverage that further into finding the grubs.
Grubs secured. And he is now only like 80% of the level behind.
Gauge from Arla here on this top side. This guy has got no mana. He's got Missing by his side, and fortunately able to sidestep a Tempered Fate, which does not matter as a double Cosmic Binding binds up 2. Missing able to flash the wall, only to be followed by another Magical Journey. Breathe flashes out of the Cataclysm, and he's grasp rocking, he's sustaining, he's shielding and dancing over June, and will send him down to the grave.
That's so unfortunate for Shun, but Greaves' dancing feet there were just excellent. Right, the berserk across the reach that to do. But at the end of the day, she was, you know, the original hyper carry. The get 300, 400 CS at 28 minutes, and please carry the game for us, carry.
Yep, the original, the old school. People will remember Jinair Green Wings Teddy, the Civer game of like of 70 something minutes. At the bottom of the screen, 54 minutes and 3 seconds was our longest game of the LPL so far. Hoping that we don't make it that far in this game number 5. As now with no ultis, Weibo still looking to fight. Tien Han shook back in, but without the damage there, this is looking pretty rough, pretty miserable for Jindong Gaming. Flashes out of the Cataclysm, and Xiaohu, now the one who's in a little bit of trouble, flashes to the other side of the wall. Still gets caught by the Deadly Flourish. A double re-engage, Cosmic Binding to be pulled on afterwards, and Pays is sent down. Olive jumps on in but doesn't find anything, and Light is rattling out these ricochets. One final tap won't quite take down June. It's a 1-for-0, but it's Weibo coming out on top.
And this is what we was just talking about. Pays, flashless, Missing, flashless. Who gets caught in the Tempered Fate? It's both of them now. The ultimate connects onto Scout.
Another re-engage, but this time they only find Arla. Zhao, who goes through the wall and maybe has gone one step too far forward, unless he can montage on them. Takes down Missing, hops over the wall again, and gets out to safety.
Dude, the health bars! Look at everyone. There's no Cataclysm on Shun, and he's got the mana.
Playing on the absolute limits of what the Aurora can get away with. And now Weibo really looking to flex their muscles and push this game fully into their control. They're taking a second dragon of the game. They're taking a tier 1 turret down on that bot side. And they are starting to, Jamada, put a real stamp on game number 5. The 7th seed of the LPL coming into playoffs. Now up against the 3rd seed in Jindong Gaming, a team that was on a 10-game winning streak.
Getting there very, very soon. Come in. Here's a pick.
With Fake onto Air, he's trying to buy time, let his team get in, and he's done exactly that. Tien's there with a Glacial Prison that sends Missing straight to the grey screen. Now Xiaohu's flying over, Tien in tow. They want Scout, they want Arla as well. The Jax is able to hop out to safety, and
this is where that fight kicked off. And JDG, it's not even like they have an answer to, you know, run bot, get a tower, run into the bot side, get a dragon. That was just raw.
For the Bard, 86% on the side of Breathe as well. Flashes on the left side of your screens. It's Weibo now heralding down in that top side. This tier 1 turret, the final piece of the outer turret puzzle that they need to claim. And JDG, they know that they've got no reason to be here. And honestly, with this Rift Herald in tow, they could very well look for a second turret, look for a charge even further. They push bot wave so deep that nobody needs to answer it for a while. Happy with Breathe answering mid lane because Pace can't step up to him, and Now he can move up through this topside jungle. There's no response at all from JDG. The turret's going to get charged on, and maybe there's more to follow.
Yeah, Oliver's taking a lot of damage here, actually. He's dead.
Finding connect, and Weibo are just not stopping on the hunt, and hunt they will. Missing goes Golden, but despite a well-placed hostile takeover, nothing happens. We are 22 minutes into this game. Weibo, with Grubs and Herald at their side, have broken open the base, and they're trying to break open the game, Jamada. Nexus turret's now under fire. TP in from Scout is going to thwart their efforts. But Weibo, we thought this might have been just a tier 2. Instead, they take the whole top side.
I was a bit worried at the very end. And they're going to get out. Arla's going to teleport bot to try and get something back, but man, it does not really feel like anything at all.
Oh, the threshold that they need to play at decreases. They can afford to make those couple more mistakes. They can afford to not be pixel perfect and have luck be exactly on their side, because they are 5,000 gold to the good right now. They've got a very sizable advantage across the majority of their lanes. And in particular, we look at that top lane, right? Breathe is now 3 levels up over Arla, an entire item up over the Jax. And you look at who is able to kill the better at this stage in the game. We've got a barely not completed, honestly, food stamps damage with his Jin build at the minute. This is Weibo Gaming being clinical and at this stage looking really good.
Like the upset is on the cards here, but so many of the teams have beaten each other throughout the year. It's really hard to, you know, really say for certain. As, oh my goodness.
3-man Tempest Fate! Erha finds 3 and binds up both of them. JDG are slaughtered in their topside jungle, and it is off the back of this Erha Bard. The 5th pick bot lane to decide it all, and Weibo with an open inhibitor in the top side and a wave in the mid lane are looking to send JDG to the lower bracket.
We were apprehensive about the pick at first, and I think rightly so. How many times you see a Bard do as well as this? But Erha single-handedly put Weibo in his backpack for this game, and the rest of Weibo happily played their parts to make this as smooth as possible, and the game's done at 27 minutes.
An MVP performance from Erha. The